Yeah, I think Chris Olave coming back was the big surprise of all of this. When you looked at other guys and their decisions, maybe Tommy Togiai surprised some people, but the biggest surprise I think was Olave. I never even considered that he would come back when I projecting the depth chart. Even next year, I never had Chris Olave on it. It was always like, is this now this guy's job or that guy's job? And to see him come back with the guys around him and the fact that Justin Fields is gone now, to me, that speaks to Olave's confidence in the guys who will be taking over, be it CJ Stroud or Jack Miller. I'm sure he hasn't seen Kyle McCord yet, but he has confidence in what he's been told that whoever does take over for Justin Fields is going to be pretty good. So I think that's a good sign. I would argue that it would have been, if you're going to pick one or the other between Tommy Togiai and Chris Olave, I think Tommy Togiai would be the one guy you would rather have back in terms of a national championship caliber team. But getting Chris Olave back is huge for a young quarterback who is going to be, getting his feet wet all season long, and having a guy that you can rely on along with Garrett Wilson makes that receiving core just as dangerous as it was this year, if not more so next year as they get older and get better and get deeper.
But I was kind of shocked about Olave as well. Oftentimes we pre-write things and we had just the version of him leaving. We never had one of him coming back, just to give you an idea of where our mindset was. I think that's huge. I think that getting Jeremy Ruckert back is a big deal. Getting, Tyreek Smith back, getting Haskell Garrett in terms of somebody taking advantage of that extra year of eligibility, especially with the loss of Tommy Togiai. I think having Haskell Garrett, somebody who really went through the full gambit of everything from the off-field incident to just having just this huge season and then coming back for one more year. I think that when you look at what Ohio State loses, it certainly loses a lot. But, all things considered, we see what's happening at a program down in Knoxville with their entire team going into the portal. We see what's happening with the team up north. We're seeing what's happening at other places. Ohio State certainly, I think, was able to ride the defection train a lot better than most other programs.
Yeah, I'll throw in, I was surprised that Togiai left. I talked to one of the NFL draft gurus here in the last couple of days, and he said he thought Togiai was a 4th or 5th round pick. Was noted that he may be the strongest player on the Ohio State team and that he'll test pretty well. He's a solid citizen, so maybe he moves up to the 3rd round. This guy didn't think there were a strong group of defensive tackles this year, so it made sense from that aspect for him to go. I would say late 2nd, 3rd round for him, which still is kind of late for a guy leaving school a year early. He's only there 3 years, but decided he was ready to go. And really, he was a difference maker, I thought, for them on the defensive line, and they're going to have to fill that spot. It's great, obviously, to have Haskell Garrett back, Tyreek Smith back, Zach Harrison obviously going into his junior year, and they really need to see some of those other guys on the defensive line step up. Jerron Cage got to start against Alabama, I almost think by default, since Togiai or nobody else was available. And he's a guy you've been kind of waiting for him to kind of step in and make a jump. And so you want to see that. And then at the end position, you've got Tyler Friday, you've got Javonte Jean-Baptiste, a whole host of guys there that you're just kind of waiting on them to step up and be heard from. So maybe this is a year that maybe one of the incoming freshmen will get a really good look, like Jack Sawyer at defensive end, or Hall, the big defensive tackle from up the Cleveland area. Maybe he would come in and get a look there as well. So, yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on with the comings and goings, but I agree having Chris Olave back, to me, that is a gold star, I think, for what he thinks Ohio State will have at quarterback this coming year. Olave wants to move up to the top 15 in the draft. He'd probably only be a 2nd-round pick right now if he had come out, and he's got every chance now to move up a little bit with a big senior year at Ohio State. So exciting times, guys coming and going, and you just wish the guys like Togi and Justin Fields and Trey Sermon. Let's see, Wyatt Davis, Josh Myers, Sean Wade, all those guys, the best of luck as they move on to the NFL.
I think a sneaky guy in there is also Antoine Jackson announcing his return, his 6th year at Ohio State, to help with the departure of Tommy Togiai. So I should probably mention that one as well. Just to him and Jerron Cage kind of taking over that nose tackle spot. Will they be good enough? And I think Cage has played okay this season, but as Steve said, we've been waiting kind of forever on him, and similarly with Antoine Jackson. So I think maybe a young guy can move in there and help, or maybe, do they move Teron Vincent or Haskell Garrett to nose guard and play the other guy, Vincent or Garrett, at the 3 technique. So there'll be some. I think there's going to be some movement, but at least they have more bodies. I mean, imagine if they had lost Jackson, Togiai, and Haskell Garrett, they would be in bad shape right now up front.